Back at it, conspiracy. Today we got these woke TikTok conspiracy theories that most won't accept. Click that like button, it don't cost nothing. And if you haven't, sub up. Let's get into it.
Clear, I'm not an atheist. I believe in the creator because I think that the quantum physics and quantum mechanics proves we're living in a creation. However, somebody say Christ is king. We're gonna find out. You understand what Christ is? Christ is you. We're all Christ. And until you understand that, you're going nowhere. We are all the Christ. Jesus never said he was coming back. He said the Christ would return. And by that he meant the consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the understanding of wisdom and ascension knowledge comes back and returns in every single person's mind. And by that method, the return is us. We are the
whole thing about the pineal gland or the third eye is to show us that there's a law of surrender. I can't get to that space of the sixth sense if I don't surrender what I think I know, because that keeps me in a space that doesn't allow me to know anything else. But if I want to really know the truth, I have to be mindless. And I have to be open to receive. And in that receiving space, I'm not looking at something the way I usually look at. I'm not looking at you through my five senses. I'm looking at you to know that you're part of me.
If you have carefully looked at the images of some of the Hindu gods and goddesses, you might have wondered, what is that shining light behind each of their heads? The tradition of making these images has been going on from thousands of years. But what is that light? Well, it is now a scientifically proven fact that there is bioelectricity running within our bodies. Especially, our nervous systems completely operate on electrical impulses or signals. And if there is electricity, then there is an electric field associated with it. And guess, where would the intensity of this electric field be highest? It is the brain. Brain is the center of the nervous system, and it is the organ where the electrical activities are the highest. And therefore, the energy field around the head will be the largest and the most intense. But surprisingly, the ancient Vedic seers were aware of this phenomenon before the advent of modern science.
Great teacher, any great master on your planet, such as Buddha or Jesus or Krishna, they were not about creating followers. They were reminding you that you are Buddhas. You are Christs. That's what has been misinterpreted. And therefore, by example, by thought, word, and deed, and living the example, do others then get attracted to your passion, your conviction of living that life, and want to know how you do that. Then you can share ideas and information and help them learn to be more of who they are. Not that they have to choose that, because you must allow them to choose whatever it is they ultimately decide to choose. If you want to be allowed to be who you are, you have to allow them to be who they are fully, with absolutely no insistence that they have to match your frequency at all.
The Tree of Life depicts the frequency that DNA oscillates at. Everything is made out of a frequency or vibration. The wall behind me is all vibration. You could stick your hand through it if you were able to match that vibration. All genetics have a vibratory signature that can be picked up by technology, and the secret space programs are able to use this type of frequency to detect different types of life just by their genetic frequency.
If DNA has its own frequency, then how can it be manipulated and changed?
We are gods, we forget this connection, and the more you understand that, the more you actually become aware of your position in life. I think that's where the interaction is between the Tree of Knowledge and the Tree of Life. One leads to the other. Now, if you follow that through in terms of genetics, the more you come to understand who you are as a temple and as a god, you begin to alter the chemical structure of your own DNA. It actually starts to alter who you are. And this is something that we now know in modern physics.
3 vertebrae in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus.
Christ.
There is a substance or liquid that comes from your medulla. This substance comes from your medulla, makes the trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is the Christ coming down into human form. And if you don't squander that essence, that sexual essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven. which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this whatever substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus. So it goes down the chimney and back up the chimney.
What I'm about to tell you tonight, because you never looked into it. You never dug into the original version of the biblical text and sourced the material and where it came from. You didn't break it down into Aramaic like I did, into the original tongues to figure out what the original text that was converted into some of the testaments were saying. You didn't look at the Torah. You didn't learn Hebrew. You didn't break down the Hebrew text to find out where the Torah got its information and then break those down into even more ancient texts to see what the source material was. You just took it hook, line, and sinker and said, you know what? This is what I got to do because everybody told me I had to do it. And if I don't do it, I'm going to suffer for eternity. So this is a big part of why I do what I do. It's about education. It's about awakening. It's about showing people that before you jump headfirst into something and stay with it for the rest of your life, maybe you should take a pause and drop some of that fear and start digging a little bit deeper, just so you can get a better understanding. And after that, if you still feel that that's the thing for you, phenomenal.
Conscious mind mysteries. Synchronicity. Synchronicity is a concept introduced by psychologist Carl Jung to describe meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by causality. These events may seem to have a deeper significance or meaning, but their origins remain unexplained by science. Déjà vu. Déjà vu is a phenomenon in which a person feels as if they have experienced a situation or event before, even though they know it is the first time they have encountered it. While science has explored the neural mechanisms of déjà vu, the exact cause and purpose of this experience are not fully understood. Premonitions are feelings or visions of future events that are not based on any conscious knowledge or logical reasoning. While some people report experiencing premonitions, the scientific explanation for these experiences remains unclear. Subscribe us to receive good news.
Don't mind how your body literally mimics a universe. Your body is a miniature universe and you have trillions of people in it. Trillions of people on it. Just like there are 7 billion people on this big, large organism we call Earth, there are 150 trillion people, miniature yous, living in your body that's not even you. That's helping your body function. That's helping this avatar function. Ooh-wee. That shows you how deep you are, and then you get mad when I call you God. You are in control of 150 trillion people in your body, and you not God? Yeah, okay.
To see this Bible prophecy from the book of Isaiah is being fulfilled in the desert of Saudi Arabia. There's water pouring into the desert. Check this out. With every day that passes, we draw closer to the return of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If you know...
What the fuck is that? Like, that is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. It's like, it's so cool. What is that?
I'm not entirely sure what this is. I pulled over to the side of the road because I noticed that thing in the air.
Everybody's seen that shit, bro.
Zoom in on it as best as I can.
Why is this not on the news, y'all? Why Why this not on the news? Peep. This shit should have went viral, bro. Like, everybody should have seen this shit. If y'all have not seen this shit, bro, please repost this video. Just keep peeping. Y'all telling me that none of this shit made the news headlines? That's how you know, bro. They control all this shit.
Did you see that shit? It's going around. Seems like gone now. What the fuck is that?
You hear all the birds? You hear everything going crazy over there?
Yeah, so it was all dark with something.
A couple of weeks ago, Pentagon officials said they believe that there is an alien mothership in our solar system and that it is sending many probes onto Earth. Now, to most people, it sounds like science fiction, right? Like something out of the Twilight Zone. Like, no way, that can't happen. Well, we have been hearing for a while now the CIA coming out saying, well, yes, there are UFOs, and we have known that there's been UFOs for quite some time, right? And of course, we've heard many eyewitness accounts of people even saying, oh, I was abducted by, a spaceship and Scotty beamed me up and all that other stuff, right? And so, of course, the CIA or the government, they never really did confirm, but now they are making this confirmation. All right, and so let me break it on down to you just a bit further. Now, I recently read a book called Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and in that book, he also talked about the mothership or the mother plane. You guys know that the Nation of Islam has been talking about the mother plane or Ezekiel's will for a very long time. I want to read to you what the Pentagon said, and then I'm going to read to you what Elijah Muhammad said in 1973 when The Fall of America was published. An artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that releases many small probes during its close passage to Earth. These dandelion seeds could be separated from the parent craft by the tidal gravitational force of the sun or by a maneuvering capability. Okay, so that was the report by the Pentagon. So as y'all heard, it said like dandelion seeds. Now to us, when we think of a dandelion seed, we think of something very small, right? But how big is a dandelion seed in space? And if you're talking about a mothership, now when we think about a mothership, you think about something very large, right? So what I'm saying is the seeds could be very large as well. All right, now let me read to you what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. The mother plane, according to what has been described of it by the devil scientists, is capable of not only staying up for long periods of time, but it is also capable of eluding the scientists. They want to attack and destroy it. But if a plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, it would be destroyed instead. The white man has learned that this is not a plane to be played with. Planes come out of the mother plane. So as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he described the same thing, right? Well, as I wondered as I was reading that is now, of course, they, being the scientists, have known about it for a very long time, but why are they telling us about it now? What is it that they want us to know now that they did not want us to know back then? And so again, for those who have made fun of the Nation of Islam, talking about, oh, there's no mothership, all you guys are making stuff up. And as I said in the video I did, it was like, oh my God, did y'all hear about the mothership? But when the brother man tell you, it's like, you're making things up. There's no mothership up there.
Go, motherfucker. Shut up. Yep, look at that. Perfectly round, yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
They're fighting up in there. First time I see this shit in real life.
The first generation of mutated humans, okay? We're in a timeline right now where we're seeing the first generation of mutated human DNA, where it's going to be leading to that timeline of humans devolving and mutating into becoming the Greys, okay? A lot of us think Greys are aliens, but they're not really aliens. The Grey is an offshoot of what has happened in this collective right now as a result of this experimental gene therapy that's being imposed on the collective consciousness. And you're seeing right now the first generation of the mutations amongst the human collective. Over time, as this mutation continues, the human body, the human DNA is going to continue to devolve. This is the reason why now the Greys look the way they do, is because it's the mutation of the original human DNA and them devolving, and they have selectively, exchanged certain DNA in preference of other DNA. So the Greys prefer to be more intellectual, more logical. This is the reason why they have massive heads, and they're very intellectual, and they have very strong psychic and mental capabilities, telepathy, psychic abilities, everything relating to the mind. But when it comes to their heart and empathy, their race has turned off that heart chakra. They have deactivated all feelings, all compassion, all love, because they view that as being a hindrance to their race. So we see a race where it's very imbalanced in the heart and in the mind. So as a result of being very imbalanced in these two energy, you have what you have right now with the Greys. So now we're witnessing the birth of the first generation of mutated humans. They already have these completely black eyes, no longer looking like human, very abnormal, very strange. We don't know what's going to be happening to them in terms of their mental intelligence and their emotional intelligence, but now you see with your own eyes that these shots are absolutely damaging and mutating the DNA to a point of no return. It's absolutely horrific what's happening to this collective, and many ETs from other collective are actually here surrounding the planet, witnessing what's happening on Earth, because they have heard of this mRNA injection being injected. They know this has never been done before. This is something that's absolutely new. There's never been tinkered with their DNA. So this is why they're here witnessing what's going on this planet, because it's never been done before. Playing with DNA, with mRNA messenger gene therapy, the whole entire planet going through ascension. This is absolutely new, unheard of. So there are billions of ETs right now surrounding this planet, just witnessing what's happening. So it's
facility growing artificial babies, and this is what it can mean for our future. This new facility is called Ectolife, and it may be bigger than we all think. And the reason why is because over 30,000 babies can be born from this facility per year, meaning in the future, half the population will be artificially born in this lab. These pods will also be hooked up to each baby. So these pods will literally be tracking everything before the child is born. Now, the first thing I thought about was the Matrix. And if you don't remember, everybody was living a fake reality in these pods without even realizing it. So is it possible that Ectolife could be the beginning of that future? Let me know in the comment section what you think. And not only that, there's an app connected to these pods. So all the data from this baby will be sent to your phone, allowing you to even watch it grow live. Now right now, it's only going to be available in Japan, Bulgaria, and South Korea. But I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes normal across the world. And there's a whole lot more technology connected to these pods. So if you want to know everything these pods are able to do, leave a like on this video and comment part 2.
This is another Sing Sing Records exclusive.
You think that I dislike you?
Why would I think that you dislike me? It doesn't, listen, it's not you per se. It's not you per se to dislike me. It's that y'all don't like yourselves. See, because if you loved yourself, then you would never lie to us about your genetics. If you loved yourself, you would never abuse us. If you loved yourself, you would never have to do that. See, I walk around with this right here. This is not in your schools. Why this not in your schools? Why don't we know that there is a difference between your blood cell and my blood cells? Why don't we know that your skin is mucous membranes and my skin has hydrocarbon and neuromelanin? Why don't we know that? You know why we don't know that? Because you're not happy with yourself. You love yourself. Yeah, here you go. I sure do. He said it's right there at the bottom of that.
Answers. You need to look at India. They have some kind of technology that they stumbled across in the 40s that they are hiding. That's why Hitler, the Nazis, mystics like Blavatsky, they were obsessed with India. They wanted that power. And that's why Britain left in 47, okay? They could not rule them any longer. They didn't have the technology to do it.
Just developed the first DNA hard drive Microsoft has. 1 gram of DNA can store 433 petabytes of data. So they've created a digital DNA hard drive. So now we have the capability of transferring consciousness into a storage capacity. We can literally take a skin cell from your body, create a clone of you up to whatever age specified, and then transfer your consciousness from your body, your mind, into that new avatar.
Really nuts?
Yes.
It's time to leave.
Time to leave what?
This planet.
Oh, boy.
But here's the real reasoning. We started a clock around 1953, which is when we had the explosion at Bikini, the first hydrogen bomb, and when we figured out the double helix. And I call this the twin nuclei problem, and it began in 1953. We do not have the wisdom to be able to fuse nuclei. We don't have the wisdom to be able to investigate the cell. It's too much power. So our wisdom may have increased slightly. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But our power is now godlike. Things which, while complicated, succumb to our intellects, right?
Right.
To be able to create something that normally happens in the sun on an island in the Pacific, or to be able to rewrite a cell the way Craig Venter did, we are now gods, but for the wisdom.
In discipline, I give you some rules. Number 1, start your day with a small ritual, like 10 push-ups. Then the day will start you. Number 2, understand, self-discipline is freedom and power in one. Number 3, analyze your temptations. Is it alcohol, drugs, or social media? Remove temptations to build discipline. Out of sight, out of mind. Number 4, on the first half of the day, avoid social media and conversation with idiots. Save your energy on your purpose, Drug. Number 5, plan small steps, not big steps. If you have too big goals and cannot achieve, you have nothing. Life is grim. Be honorable.
Number 1, a bull without horns is still a bull. Be careful who you mess with. Just because somebody ain't the same as they used to be don't mean they can't be if they want to be. Number 2, a mule can be tame at one end and wild at the other. Just because somebody claims to be your friend don't mean they ain't your enemy. Number 3, a new broom sweeps clean, but an old broom knows where the dirt is. Don't walk out on something good just because something that looks better comes along, because in the end, chances are you're going to regret it. Number 4, an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. You're going to come across a lot of haters in your lifetime. Don't pay them no mind, because they just want what you got. And number 5, it's better to have a sharp axe than big muscles. If something's too hard, take a second and think about it to figure it out. I promise you there's an easier way. Don't break your back trying to impress nobody. It's far more impressive to use your noggin.
Hey y'all, how come we don't know this man's name? He just did something I've never seen done before. Like he's riding a real bull here, and he don't got no strap that he's holding on to. Like the motherfucker don't even got a cowboy hat on, and he rides this bull till exhaustion. I have never seen no shit like this. Like I've been making this video for over 20 seconds now, and he's still on the fucking bull. But this can't be like the same bulls they have in the rodeos. I'm just so confused here. I don't even know how the fuck he's doing this. I don't know if it's the bull or is he special, but the bull just stopped. Like he needed a breather, but it's a bull, so he keeps going. But he really gassed out a fucking bull. That shit crazy.
That was crazy. My man is vibrating real high, huh? Whoa. His cigarette didn't even fly out. I don't think it was lit. That's crazy. I hope your mind was expanded with light. And until next time, guys, take care.